There was no half marathons at that time in Buffalo.
I was a nervous wreck.
What just happened here?
It was like 8 months of worry.
$8 to enter a half marathon, if you can imagine that. It's a beautiful, beautiful view.
It was my first half marathon.
And that was my first.
Ken Hans, I was the founder and first race director for the first 5 years. Well, as a matter of fact, we had a really kind of a very narrow race calendar back in the mid-90s. I was at a Greater Buffalo Track Club meeting and suggesting, we really should do something about this. We should put on like a 20K or a half marathon. And everybody's like, okay, sure, we can put on a half marathon. You can be the race director. Like, okay, let's do it.
Dexter Frank, I think for 3 years I was race director. It made sense because the Buffalo Marathon at that point was getting a little bit more of a bigger race, and this was kind of a lead-up race to the Buffalo Marathon.
It was always Greater Buffalo's mission to give back to the running community. So this race was definitely intended to be a gift to the running community.
Hi, my name is John Felix. I'm the only person that has been involved all 30 of the half marathons.
We started out at the Holiday Inn in Grand Island, the first race.
Did the north end of Grand Island.
Primarily ran along East River Road and started and finished by the Holiday Inn. $8 to enter a half marathon, if you can imagine that. And a shirt. Incredible.
My name's Fran Rowe,
Which race did you do first, or what year?
1995. And that was my first half marathon.
Were you at the first one then?
Yes, I would, yeah.
Do you remember the day at all?
It was a really decent day for running, 40 degrees and no wind.
It's changed, I would say, at least 4 or 5 times, yes.
We were a couple years there, and then we switched over on Whitehaven Road. There was a VFW post, and that hosted us for, I think, 2 or 3 years.
We used that as the post-race party, and so that was a different course. And then we ended up going to Beaver Island.
Confined it inside the state park.
It was an out and back on the West River Parkway. Then they did some construction on the bike path, and that was when Mike O'Neill was the race director.
It's Mike O'Neill. The club asked me actually to be race director from 2016 through 2019. I think we were all happy kind of long-term that the parkway was going to be shut down and was going to be made a bike path, because it would bode well for this race here. But the transition was a challenge. So that was in 2018. We actually didn't even know whether we were going to be able to run the race.
My name is Roger King. 2023, I became the race director. My goal as a race director is try to make it user-friendly.
All first-time half marathoners were feeling really welcomed.
This year, we're giving back to the Neighbors Foundation of Grand Island and Vision Niagara.
I felt that was really rewarding to the whole club, that we were able to impact something that was pretty close to home.
It was my first half marathon, and I was extremely scared of the distance, and I didn't know what to do or anything. I was just basically running blind, and I was like, oh, I did it. I ran a half marathon.
We had a couple come out from Colorado to run it, and they went to Niagara Falls, and they said, oh, we're going to run this race here too, and they just thought it was wonderful.
One funny story is I would finish the years I was race director, and I would go home and just kind of like what just happened here, and have to go out and have a few beers after that one. And
it was not a moneymaker. It was never intended to be a moneymaker.
What was your race time? Did it matter?
2:15. And I was 55 at the time. I felt nervous to begin with, but as I kept going, I felt better. And of course, at the finish, joy.